Run, Jump, Repeat was originally crafted in 2021 as a homebrew Atari 2600 game. Now, 2 years later, the game has been reimagined as Mr. Run and Jump. Does this game hit all the core elements that make a retro platformer great? Or does it come up short? Find out in our review. The start of the game pays homage to the classic Atari era of games. Mr. Run and Jump was originally made for the Atari 2600 in 2021 by John McCullough, a developer at Graphite Lab, thus the throwback with the introductory stage of the game. Leap, the dog, runs off, and we need to chase after and get them back. After we catch up to our dog, there's a break in space-time that sucks man and dog into it. We have arrived in the realms of color, where our tough journey is about to begin. We'll have to use all of our running and jumping abilities to get to the end of each level. There are plenty of tough jumps in the game, so we have to think on our feet. Wall jumps, high jumps, and mid-air diving are just a few of the skills you'll need to master in order to get through Mr. Run and Jump. You'll also be able to roll into a ball and long jump, so momentum will be key in this devious platform. Mr. Run and Jump reminds me a lot of V, a Nintendo 3DS platformer that had a ton of tough stages to traverse through and a similar graphical style. Each stage consists of 3 levels, a boss stage, and the void stages. You will need to think fast in the void stages, as they are about moving quickly and reacting. The void is a red line that chases players through the level. It's an instant kill, just like all the other enemies in the game. There is a time trial mode that unlocks after you beat the level for the first time. However, you need to grab the stopwatch in the level to start the time trial mode. The orbs collected during the time trial mode go toward the orb total for the game. You'll need to beat each stage at least twice if you're going to complete the run of the game. Speedrunners will be in their glory in Mr. Run and Jump. There isn't a right way to beat each stage, so the player can really go through the stages any way they see fit. Combining a wall jump into an air dash might be the only way to get to a certain point. On the other hand, that same combo might be faster than rolling, and that extra speed might be the difference in time trial mode. There are checkpoints that you can set in the options menu. They can be turned off, or you can reduce the amount of times they appear. That being said, you can walk to the next part of the level, leaving the current part of the level, and lock in your blue shards from that section. Being able to do this makes the checkpoint system meaningless in my opinion. I can understand why you can turn checkpoints on and off, but it feels like the game wants you to perform sections in one go. Having a checkpoint takes away from the feeling of accomplishment when you finally get through a tough part of a level. The game tasks you to collect blue shards and power orbs, the red orbs in each level. The red orbs are hidden in secret areas throughout the stage and will test your skills. You'll have to collect everything the level has to offer if you want to unlock the special stage, the Dark World. The Dark World has some of the toughest levels in the game, and it will throw everything the game has to offer at you. Each realm of color has a different color scheme and musical number. The desert level, for example, has yellow as the color, but it's also a jazz-like musical score. It really goes with the level since there are ghosts that move in time with the rhythm. If you have enough time with the stage, take a deep breath and listen to the great soundtrack. That being said, the levels have a neon sign at a dive bar look to them, and it works for what the game is trying to do. There were lots of flashing lights on screen at times, but I believe you can turn that down in the menu. There were talks of a patch coming out to solve this issue, and it could already be out at the time of this video. You have the option right off the bat to change the title from Mr. to Miss Run and Jump. Another option is to change it to Run and Jump if you'd like. There's more minor customization in the game, like unlocking hats to wear. My favorite hats were the winter beanie and the cowboy hat. They don't do anything in the game, performance-wise, but they do look pretty sharp. One issue I had with Mr. Run and Jump is that the controls weren't nearly as tight as they needed to be. The game is centered around tough jumps and platforming, but Mr. Run and Jump doesn't reflect that all the time. If you're asking me to perform precision jumps and platforming, the controls need to keep up with the action. Mr. Run and Jump also has dive jump mechanics, and you'll need to use this ability often to jump from wall to wall or other platforms. Several times I would do this jump, get to a wall, and move further up the wall for no reason. The problem with that is sometimes there are spikes or an enemy on that wall. He would also slide into enemies or spikes in the ground, like the level had ice physics. The momentum gained from a jump would continue when I hit the ground, thus moving further ahead than I anticipated. The game also has quite a lot of blind jumps, ones that you can't see where you need to land. The harder levels in the game have a lot of blind jumps. The game is difficult enough with loose controls and non-intentional ice physics. they did need to have blind jumps too. All in all, Mr. Run and Jump pays tribute to the classic era of Atari games. A physical copy of the original Mr. Run and Jump is being re-released by Atari for the 2600. It'll be the first new Atari 2600 cartridge launched for a new Atari game since 1990. The platforming in this game is tough as nails, so you'll get used to seeing the press A to continue screen because you've met your demise. A lot. The music in each realm of color really matches the theme of the stage, but the loose controls do the precision platformer a disservice. While Mr. Run and Jump isn't a bad game by any means, it's pretty average. If you're looking for something on the same level of Celeste, this isn't it. But the nice colors, music, and design make it a fun, enjoyable little experience. For more video reviews and anything else gaming related, you're already in the right place. You're on shacknews.com.